Your shoes have holes. Where did you get those?
Idiots are us. You're so clumsy. Why do you always drop your books?
Your face is grossing me out. Are you scared? Say something.
Did the little baby get their feelings hurt? Want your mommy? Aww. Come on, guys. Bethany's stupid. Let's go.
Hey, don't worry. You're gonna be okay.
Do I know you?
One day you will. Here.
What is this?
That's your book. You're gonna write it one day. Come on, let's go.
You guys know the news, and I'm so excited, a little nervous. I am so excited to announce to you guys that I'm releasing a book! What? I actually thought about doing a book a few years ago, but at the time I didn't know what I wanted to make a book about, and I didn't just want to make a book for the sake of making a book. But then about a year ago, I decided, you know what, I have things that I want to talk about and things that I want to share with you guys, things that I've never spoken to you about before, and so I wanted to put that all into one book for you guys. And this is by far one of the hardest secrets that I've ever had to keep from you guys. I don't like keeping secrets from you guys. I don't normally keep secrets from you guys, so not talking about this for literally over a year has been so hard for me, and a lot of you guys are like, Bethany, what are you working on? And I'm like, I can't tell you. Also, BTW, I don't ride a motorcycle, thanks to the girl that did that, because I would have fallen off. So anyway, my book is titled Make Your Mind Up. I thought this title was very fitting because I feel like, you know, every day we have to make decisions, small decisions and bigger decisions, what we want to wear, what we want for dinner. I never know what I want for dinner. We have to make decisions of who we want in our life. We have to make decisions of who we want to be and the life that we want to create for ourselves. And so this book is kind of just the way that I do things and things that I've learned and personal stories that I've never shared with you guys before, so you're about to learn a lot about Bethany. But also, I don't want people to think that this book is all about me, because honestly, this book to me is about showing people that you can do whatever you want and you can literally create the life that you want. And the book is now available for pre-order! So you can actually pre-order my book right now. I will have the link below. Also, if you pre-order it, then be sure to tweet me or Instagram a screenshot of proof that you pre-ordered it with hashtag #MakeYourMindUp. And I might pick a few people to give you a little surprise. I just also want to take a second to say thank you to all of you guys for all of your support. This wouldn't have happened without you, and that's obvious because you guys are amazing and your support has kept me going for so long. And also, I know this video was like very different than my other ones. Don't worry, I actually have a morning routine video coming out in the next few days. So give this video a thumbs up if you want that to come out sooner. And give this video a thumbs up because books are cool! I'm so excited. Sorry, I'm acting like I'm 7. Thank you again for being a part of my life and being a part of my family. I just want to remind you guys that if you're watching this right now, you're a part of the family, so you're stuck with us. I'm sorry. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you very soon. Mwah! Bye! So excited.
Bethany Mota's in the house!
This is cool. I love this. Thanks for coming, guys. Good to see you.
All right, you know, Bethany, I'm a numbers person.
Okay.
So let's start with the numbers.
The numbers.
27 million followers on all social media platforms.
Combined, yeah.
12 million subscribers on your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
2 billion views. That's crazy.
It's insane. I mean, it blows my mind. Because it's also what's crazy is that I didn't know any of that was possible, especially when I started, I was 13. So I had no intention or expectation of anything like that coming out of it. So the fact that this is where I am now because of something that I just essentially stumbled into is really cool. Like, I just never expected that to happen.
What I loved about the book is it is so unexpected, and you start the book out by really being open and honest, talking about bullying, talking about anxiety. Set up the moment in 2009. What were you feeling when you first started?
So I had just experienced cyberbullying, well, when I was 12 years old. And that was my first time ever going through any type of bullying situation. And up until that point, I never thought of myself that way. I never criticized my own body until other people started criticizing it. And then I started kind of believing what they were saying and thinking, well, maybe I am fat. Maybe I do need to lose weight. And I started believing these things at such a young age. And I really let these opinions affect what I thought of myself and who I thought I was. And it kind of just led me into this very dark time. I was very insecure, and I was already shy growing up, so this just added to that. And then I was kind of just tired of it one day, and I decided I didn't have to keep victimizing myself and letting these people's opinions control my life. So I had been watching YouTube for a few months, and I saw the beauty community, and I just thought it was really cool, regardless of what they were making videos about. I loved the idea of girls and guys just making videos about whatever it was they enjoyed, and just having a project that was theirs. And I found that fascinating, and I thought, this is something I want to do, but I'm too afraid, and I just dismissed the thought so many times because I was so scared of opinions. And one day I finally did it. My mom let me use the family video camera. I set up everything and taught myself how to edit, and that was when I uploaded my first video. And I think the first step was the hardest step, and that goes for so many things in life, is we really want something and we keep saying, like, I'm gonna do it someday, like I'll get there eventually. And you can sometimes just let the fear stop you and kind of paralyze you from actually making that first step. So I made the first step, and then all of the videos after that became a lot easier. It was so much easier for me to continue after just doing it, even though it was terrifying.
Something that I learned a long time ago, when I break down the word fear, it is false evidence appearing real. That we step up and we're so afraid to take that next step because we're afraid of what everybody else thinks.
Right.
And the thing that I really respect about you is A, how vulnerable you are, and you put it all out there, and B, how you took this moment of wanting to express yourself and thought, I'm just gonna leap. That's huge, because I think there are a lot of girls and boys at home, that are really in that same space right now, and they're using you as a role model. I mean, the way you've transitioned it and how you live your life is such a good example with everything going on in the world right now.
Thank you. I think also with fear, it's the fear of failing as well. And that's something that I didn't want to face, is what if this all fails? What if I make these videos and then no one wants to watch them? And why did I waste my time? Because when you fail, it can sometimes, affect your ego and all of these things. And that's something that I've had to learn to deal with even now, like throughout my time on YouTube. Fear of failing can really, really hold you back from doing things. But I've noticed that any time I've faced a fear or gone through a challenging experience, I've always grown from it. I've always learned from it. And we don't really see that in the moment, but that's the thing, is like the cyberbullying experience, I was like, I don't want this to happen to me. Why is this happening to me? And I didn't realize that that experience, that challenge, was leading me to this.
Where you're at now.
And so I think it's a really cool perspective to have. So if you're going through something difficult or something is challenging or it scares you, think, what am I going to learn from this? What is this preparing me for in the future? And then it's almost, you can kind of be grateful for those difficult experiences. Yes, they're still going to be hard, obviously. Going through that experience was difficult for me and it affected my confidence, but had it not happened, my life would be completely different. So now it's like, okay, well, bring on the challenges. I think I can handle them,
And what age were you when your grandfather passed? Because that was a very emotional moment for you.
I was around 10 years old. Yeah, and that was my first time ever dealing with loss. So I took it pretty hard. And I think for me, growing up being so shy, I was so used to keeping all of my emotions in. And that was the first experience in my life where I just couldn't keep it in. And I allowed myself to be emotional. and kind of embrace that. Sometimes I feel like, you know, when we feel things, we want to deny that we feel that way, but that doesn't stop us from actually feeling it. I think it's important to let yourself feel whatever emotion it may be, because that's how you're going to get through it, is by letting yourself feel sad or upset or whatever it may be.
The fact that you talk about bullying, that is running rampant right now, and kids are being bullied all the time. So for somebody that's feeling that they're bullied and they're afraid to speak up, you've done it. What advice would you give them?
Yeah, bullying is something, I feel like a lot of people put it in, you get bullied as a kid and that's it. But I think you can be bullied even as an adult, in a workspace, on a daily basis. There are little things that people can say that can make you feel attacked or hurt. What I've learned about bullying is that it's never personal, especially online, because it's so easy now. Like, people can just get online, be anonymous, write a comment, and try to hurt someone's feelings. It's too easy.
Such a coward that does something like that. And it expresses who they are.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's what I learned, because when I was being bullied, I was so confused. I was like, what did I do? I blamed myself. What did I do wrong? How can I fix it? And that's when you go into like, okay, well, maybe I need to change myself. Maybe I need to change my appearance so this person will like me. That's not going to make a difference, because this person has already decided that they want to be negative towards you. And what I learned is it has absolutely nothing to do with you, because I've reached out to haters before in the past. I don't really do it much anymore, but when I did, one girl specifically responded to me, and she started apologizing after I reached out. She was like, I've just been going through something in my life which caused me to want to take it out on random people. And so I thought, oh, in a way, it was kind of a cry for help. Because if you think about it, when you're really, really happy and you feel so fulfilled in life, the last thing you want to do is go make someone feel bad. You just don't care. Like, you don't want to put your energy into that. So obviously, if someone is trying to be negative, trying to make you feel insecure, it's coming from a place that, you know, something negative in their life, something that they're feeling. So if you can think of it as, maybe I can help this person, or maybe I can figure out what they're going through if they'll let me in, it instantly changes your mindset, and you don't feel like a victim or feel like, why is this person doing this to me? It's like, what are you going through? How can I help you? And then you just don't take it personally.
So instead of feeling judged, feel compassion. So it's like contrary action.
Exactly.
Take those negative emotions and feelings and turn it around and think, what are they going through that they would lash out at me?
Absolutely. And I think also just having a very strong sense of self and self-love helps with whenever someone may try to attack you. That's something that I also didn't have when I was being cyberbullied, is I instantly, like I said, started blaming myself. And I didn't have a lot of confidence to begin with, so it was very easy for me to be affected by those opinions and to believe that those things were true. And over time, I've learned, you know, self-love it takes maintenance. It's not just like, I'm going to be confident, and you wake up and you're just confident forever. No, it's kind of like, I heard someone say this a while ago, it's kind of like sweeping your floor. Like, you have to sweep your floor on a date, like you have to be consistent with it. It's going to get dirty again, you have to sweep it again. That's kind of how self-love is and confidence. You have to maintain it and keep it up and remind yourself to love yourself and make it a habit, because naturally we get into habits anyway. So if you're constantly thinking negative thoughts about yourself, if you look in the mirror every day and you always look at that one thing that you don't like, it just becomes consistent. You get used to that, you get comfortable doing that, and you're going to continue doing that. But the great thing is that you can choose whatever it is that you want to become a habit. So if you want to focus on other things, the things that you love about yourself, you can do that as well. And you can also learn to love the things that may not be seen as perfect, or may not be as, you know, glorified by society, because I used to feel like, oh, I have to look like this, like I need to be this thin or whatever it may be, because that's what society is showing me. And I would work out and eat healthy, but I wasn't happy doing it because I wasn't doing it for the right reasons. And then I shifted my mindset and thought, like, what do I really want to do? I want to take care of my body for me. I don't want to compare it to anyone else's, because this is what I was given. I should be grateful for the body that I have and working with what I have, because as much as I wish I looked like that person or wish I had this person's life, I'm just wasting energy because I can't have that.
All right, you're touching on something very interesting that I'm fascinated with. You know, when I was your age, there was no social media. There was no I would say, comparison to the rest of the world, whether it's Instagram, it's Snapchat, it's Facebook. I find all these young girls looking at the rest of the world wanting to be that instead of celebrating who they are. How does a young girl stop trying to compare and celebrate who they are and just not spend their time wanting to be somebody else, wanting to live their life by how many likes they get? Where do you find the strength to just go, this is who I am?
I heard something recently that really made me think. It said that social media and people's Instagrams and Twitter accounts, it's like the highlight reel. Because if you think about it, you take 60 photos and you post the best one. Like that's what everybody does. And so you're only seeing the best of that person's life. It's not so common that you see like the unglamorous moments, and that's what you have to remember when you're looking at someone's feed and looking at what they're posting. You have to remember that's probably that those are the best moments, and that's totally fine. Like I do that as well. I like to post the best, happiest moments, but you have to remember that everyone feels insecure at times. Everyone has those down days, and also, like I kind of said before, learning to really be grateful for what you have. And people always used to say that, and I was like, that's cheesy, but it's so
true.
It's so true. Like, think about it. It's like first of all, I have this body that I was given, and I get to live life. Like, that in itself is incredible. And when you think of it from a bigger perspective of like, I was able to wake up today, like I'm able to see and hear and experience things through my body, like, how dare I disrespect it by saying, oh, this isn't that perfect. Oh my gosh, I have a zit. Those things seem so small when you just think about the fact that you can actually live life through this body, and you should respect it and want to take care of it and eat healthy, because this is what's going to be taking me through the rest of my life. So I want to nourish it and nurture it.
I love how I always wake up happy, and people say, why are you so happy today? I'm like, well, I woke up.
Yeah.
Considering the alternative wouldn't be so good.
Right.
And I always say this, and I want to get to the book. There's a term called a couture dress. It's one dress, one event, one night. And I think that God made everybody in this couture image. It's one person, one body, one life. And I don't believe there are any mistakes. You were given this body, and you need to celebrate it, nurture it, and embrace it, and love it, because this is the body you have.
Absolutely. That's the thing is I feel like I've gotten to this point where I'm able to genuinely appreciate everything. And I was talking to someone about this the other day. I don't even really feel embarrassment anymore. Like whenever something embarrassing happens to me, I think having awareness in life and awareness of why we feel things is so important. If something embarrassing happens, I'm able to like step away now and be like, you know what? I think it's beautiful that I can like do something silly or embarrass myself. Like I don't really see them as imperfections anymore as much as just being human. I found beauty in being a human and making mistakes and learning from those mistakes and in embracing all of those things.
And if you think about it, there's something about perfection and imperfection.
Absolutely.
Now, one of the toughest things that I did a couple years ago was write a book. I put everything I had in it for 1 year. It's the 10 Commandments to a Perfect Wardrobe. It was blood, sweat, and tears, and when I finally wrote the end, I felt this huge sense of relief. What was it like writing your book?
It took about 1.5 years, and I had been wanting to write a book for a really long time, but I wanted to wait until I felt like I had enough to talk about. And I mean, look, like I'm 21, I still have a lot to learn, but I feel like I've learned quite a bit, especially in the past few years. I've learned a lot through being on YouTube. I've experienced a lot of self-doubt issues, body image issues, a lot of things that I just really wanted to talk about, while also giving people the stuff you would see on my YouTube channel, which is just, like what to wear today and cool recipes, but then deeper stuff. Because I've spoken about, for example, the cyberbullying, but in the book, I was able to really dive in and just in depth talk about more specific issues. Even like dating, I had never really spoken about dating before, and I was able to open up about that. But to be honest—
Are you dating?
No, not right now. But to be honest, it was really scary because I had never been that vulnerable before. because in my videos, like, I'm personal and, you know, I show personal sides of myself, but I remember sitting down writing the book and starting to talk about more like family issues and just personal things. I was like, this is so scary. Like, wait, I don't know if I want to do this. This is going to be out there for the world to see. Because vulnerability, it's terrifying. But then I realized when I was going through those issues in the past with confidence and bullying, I wish that there was something or somebody that I could look to that had been through it to give me advice. So if me being vulnerable can inspire people, then that's my goal with this book. And I would, while I was writing it, I would feel like a little emotional, like bringing things up again. And I thought, maybe that's a sign that if I'm getting emotional while writing this book, it may also make the readers feel something. And that's what I want to do, is just make people feel something, take something from it, whether you get like a style tip or you learn how to love yourself a little bit more. That's all I want to do with this book.
So for somebody that is at home and they're thinking, okay, I want to do a YouTube channel. I want to do it. If you did it, I can do it. What are the first steps?
I would say, first of all, find whatever it is that you're really passionate about and do that. Like when I first started making videos, I did makeup and I was 13 doing makeup tutorials, no idea what I was talking about, but I pretended that I did. But I really just fell in love with the process of making videos. I think if you can really fall in love with making them and find something about it that you genuinely love, that's the key. Because when I got into it 8 years ago, like I said, I didn't know that success was possible. And I feel like now some people do want to get into it specifically for the success and making a career out of it, which if you can make a career out of it, that's amazing. That's what I've been able to do, and I embrace that now. I'm so grateful for that. But if I went into it thinking, I want this to be my job and I want to be doing this for the next 10 years, I personally think I would have gone about it differently, and I would have been disappointed more easily. Because if I was so invested in how many views something got or how many subscribers I got in a certain amount of time, like I never really set goals for myself as far as like subscribers and things like that go, because that was never really my intention. It was just focusing on the work that I was creating. And I think being very emotionally invested in it is so important, because that shows through. You know, I've even had times where maybe I'm not feeling it as much or I'm not as passionate about making videos, and that shows through. I'm at a place where I love doing it, and I think going back to that 13-year-old girl that was posting videos because she loved it, whenever I'm feeling a little self-doubtful, I go back to that first video. I'm like, oh, that's why I'm doing it. It's not for numbers. It's because it makes me genuinely excited and I get to connect with people all around the world. So just doing it for the right reasons, doing it because you're passionate about it, is what's going to keep you in it for a long time. Otherwise, you will get discouraged.
And it's not about the destination, it's about the journey, as you're saying, that gets you there.
Yeah.
And stay in the moment, stay present. And the thing that I love about social media is, you know, when I was your age, I didn't really have a way of expressing myself. The thing that's great about YouTube and the way you've really been a pioneer in what you're doing is allowing and giving all these kids a privilege and an opportunity and permission to express themselves and say, this is who I am, I want to share myself, but have no attachment to the outcome.
Right. And also just, you know, embracing who you are through it. That's the thing, is I feel like through being on YouTube for 8 years, I also discovered myself at the same time. My first video, I was so shy. I was still very insecure. And I found a way to love myself and appreciate who I am for who I am without trying to impress anybody.
But are you going to follow me on Instagram?
Totally.
Oh, nice, yo. Okay, now, it's the only reason I've done this is to have you as a follower. Okay, so I've spent 20 minutes talking to Bethany. Who has a question? You do. Okay, what's your name, sweetheart?
Hey! My name's Crystal. Hi, Bethany.
How are you? Good to see you again.
So my question is, was there a part of your book that you found the most difficult to write? Any section, or was it more free-flowing to you?
No, I think when I was talking about the bullying stuff, that was probably the hardest, just because I've spoken about it before in interviews and in videos. But for the book, I noticed anything that I spoke about in the book, I had to go into very detailed, you know, I had to get very detailed with it. And so I almost kind of had to relive it a little bit. And I remember writing it, I started feeling all the emotions again, like when I experienced it. So that was really difficult. And that's what I meant earlier when I said I would get emotional. It was things like that situation, for example, where I really felt like I was kind of going through it again. But then also feeling those emotions reminded me of why I needed to talk about it, because I thought, oh yeah, this is how it made me feel. And I know that people deal with bullying every day, and so I knew I had to put it in the book because I learned so much through that, and I wanted to share that with people.
And did you stay in those feelings? Did you, because a lot of people have feelings and then they want to run away from them. Did you stay in them and allow them to come up?
Yeah, because that's the thing, because I used to run away from feelings, and whenever I was like fearful or scared, I'd be like, no, I'm not scared, like I'm good. But no, I think, yeah, I had awareness while I was feeling those things, and I was able to kind of step back and be like, oh, I'm feeling this, okay. I think this is good, though, that I'm feeling emotional, because I think that will resonate and that will shine through what I'm writing if I allow myself to actually relive that moment so that I can really express exactly how it made me feel.
Excellent. Next up.
Hi.
Hi, Bethany. My question is, what made you realize that it was a good time to write the book? Because you said that you waited for like a year after you decided that you wanted to write it. So like, was there a moment that made you decide like, it's time now to write the book?
I think I just reached a point where I felt like I had learned quite a bit about myself, because when I got into YouTube, it was kind of that time where you are learning so much. Like 13 to 21, I feel like that's the time where you grow a lot as a person. And I felt like I was just trying to figure it out. I didn't really know who I was. And I'm still learning more about myself every day. I feel like we evolve and change every day. So I think that if I write a book years from now, I might have a completely different perspective. But I reached a point where I felt like I knew who I was, and I just really wanted to share that with people. And I just had this feeling that, I think it's time. I've learned enough about these specific topics that I really want to put out there for everybody. Thank you.
And we have another question.
Hi, my name is Freddie.
Hi.
Hey, what inspired you to start singing?
To sing?
Yeah.
I actually I've always loved music growing up, and a lot of my family members are into music, and I remember during holidays, like Christmas, the family would get together, and like they just all like play the piano, play the guitar, and sing songs, and so it's always been a part of my life, and I love writing music. I don't have any plans of putting anything out anytime soon. I think if it's the right time, I will, but yeah, I think it's one of those things that's always been a part of my life, so it's just come naturally. Thank you.
And I have one more question before we wrap it up. Where did you come up with the title, Make Up Your Mind?
So I came up with this title because I think it just really sums up everything that the book is. Like from the smaller things, like choosing what to wear, or choosing to go after that dream that you think about every day. Because something I've personally struggled with a lot is, procrastination and telling yourself that you're not ready, and allowing yourself to be stopped because of fear of failing. And make your mind up. It's just like move, like do it, because you'll never know unless you make the decision and make the first step, make the first video, or do the first thing that you have to do. Because once you make the first step, it's so much easier. And that title, like, it's just something that I kind of play in my head a lot as well. It's just a reminder to just do whatever it is. If you have this impulse to do something, do it, regardless of if it makes you fearful. Also, if it makes you nervous and scares you, then you care about it. And those are the things that we should be chasing in life, are the things that make us really feel something. Because just staying safe, like keeping it safe with everything and sticking to what's comfortable and what you know, that rarely gives you the opportunity
And nothing
grow.
changes.
Exactly.
Nothing changes at all.
And then you're not challenging yourself, and you're not learning as much as you could about yourself. So it's something I have to remind myself of every day, even if it's small things. Just do it. If you're thinking about it, give it a chance.
Do something every day that scares you, and you feel so much better.
You really do.
And the thing that I love, and I've lived by this, it's never a loss, it's always a lesson. Mm-hmm. Now, for those people that want to take you home with them, you have a book signing tonight.
I do. I'm so excited. I love just meeting my viewers in person. It's so much fun, and this is kind of my first time doing. It's been a while since I've done a tour and done meet and greets, so I'm really excited.
New Jersey?
Yes, New Jersey.
Ridgewood, New Jersey?
Ridgewood, New Jersey.
Yes.
Bookends.
Yes. We're helping each other. I think we're good.
Bookends, Ridgewood, New Jersey. 6 p.m.
Boom.
Yes.
All right, well, I love when the student is ready, the teacher appears, and I've been such a student, and you've taught me so much, and I know that you've taught our audience so much, and since I am just a little bit older than you, I will say this. I love that there are voices out there helping those that need help. You're doing it the positive way, you're doing it the right way, and you are living by example. I love the fact that there's someone out there that's teaching everyone else how to do it with class, respect, and dignity. So I'm a huge fan.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
So let's put our hands together for Bethany Mota. Make up your mind and buy that book.